Welcome back to the Apothecary. Today we are going to make a very special spring dish using stinging nettles as the base. This is going to create a nutrient-rich, beautiful soup that is going to really help our bodies to recover from winter. This is a wonderful soup that is very cleansing, detoxifying, and healthy. And it's a very simple recipe as well, so don't feel as though it's anything strenuous or difficult. The ingredients are not difficult to obtain except for the nettle, which if you are harvesting it from foraging, it will be in abundance in certain areas, or you can even sometimes buy them from certain local farmers markets that sell them. Otherwise, you can also start them from seed, and they're not difficult to start. I'm also going to take you into the garden to show you how I harvest nettles. Before we begin, it is important to know that I have handled nettles many times before. In fact, I don't always get stung by nettles because of the amount of nettles that I consume on a daily basis. I make a tea from nettles every day and drink that. And there have been times where I have not gotten any kind of sting whatsoever, despite any way that I've touched or handled the nettles. So when you see me picking the nettles, I'm not wearing gloves, and I'm not being overly careful. I'm also not grabbing the nettles with my hands. I'm trying to be a bit careful just in case I do happen to get a sting, but really it's not a big deal to me. In fact, the sting is in some regions of the world and also throughout history, the sting of the nettle has been used for various ailments such as arthritis and gout and all kinds of other things. So there are some benefits to the sting of the nettles, which is something that we don't really know or use here today, but it's something to keep in mind. But I would recommend starting out wearing gloves to protect yourself so that you don't have any pain or potential outbreaks from the nettle sting, as some people are allergic to nettles, and the stinging hairs will create a reaction. So do wear gloves to protect yourself and be cautious during the harvesting process. Now, the interesting thing is about nettles and the sting is that when you cook with them, the boiling water will take the sting out of the nettles. Also, drying the nettles will take the sting out, and blanching. And blanching is a really nice way to take the sting out of the nettles before baking with them, for example. But hot water, like boiling, takes them out for soups and stews and other things, as long as you boil them for about 1 to 2 minutes at least. And that also retains their green color so that you're not overcooking and overboiling them, because that will damage the nutrients in the nettles. So, without further ado, let's get started. This is the perfect time to collect nettles as they are nice and tender, and they're really going to add a lot of sweetness and flavor to anything that you are using them in. So I'm going to show you how to harvest the nettles, and the way that I do it is a little bit risky because I don't always use gloves when I'm harvesting, but I do recommend using gloves, especially if you're just starting out or if you've never handled nettles before, as they are very abrasive to the skin, and for some people they can cause rashes as well. And of course we will be preparing them in a dish today that will take the sting out before consuming it. So I will talk to you all about that in a little bit, but let's get started. Nettle soup has been consumed for centuries. It is very easy to prepare, and it is a really nice and tasty way to get all of those vitamins and minerals into your body. Okay, so here are the ingredients that we will be using. We have our very freshly picked, tender, stinging nettles. You can see the stinging hairs if you look closely enough. And they're actually very clean because of the rain that we've been having. And then we have 3 tablespoons of butter. You could also use any type of equivalent for your butter if you don't like using regular butter. And this is unsalted. And I have 5 small potatoes. I have an onion, some garlic. I picked some fresh, beautiful green chives. Chives are another one that's so easy to grow and so abundant. And I picked a little bit of thyme. My thyme plant is still not quite fully back yet. This is the only green that I saw so far, but you don't need very much. So we have all of these ready to go. So first we're going to start by peeling our potatoes and preparing the vegetables. So you'll need a peeler as well. Also, you'll need a stock pot, and you'll notice I have this parchment paper that I've cut into a circle that will be set on top of the pot later on. So if you want to get that ready, you can also do that. This is such a beautiful soup to make. It's not too heavy either, so don't think it's like a winter soup. It's pretty light. We will also need a food processor later on to blend the ingredients together. You could also use a normal blender. Okay, so we got everything chopped up and ready to go for the ingredients. Now we're going to puree this, so don't worry if the vegetables are not chopped to the size that you would like them to be. And this also goes for the nettles. By pureeing the soup, we don't need to actually chop the nettles or prepare them or blanch them or anything like that. We will also need 4 cups of stock and some heavy cream, or you could use milk, salt and pepper, and anything you like to flavor with. I also am going to be adding hard-boiled egg on top of mine. Okay, so we're going to start by melting the butter. I'm going to turn the knob on to about medium, depending on your stove. And you're just going to place 3 tablespoons of butter into the pot and let that melt. Now I had some nettle water from blanching some nettles for another meal that I had the other day. So this can be used in the stock, and also you could just use water if you don't have anything to make stock with, but you could use bouillon, you could use anything that you normally have in your stocks. But if you do ever blanch nettles, you can save that water to use for cooking in soups and stews. And it adds a nice mineral base. So you can see it has a nice green color, and I'm just going to add water to make this 4 cups because later on we'll need 4 cups. Okay, so we're melting the butter. Still not fully melted yet. This is such a wonderful spring soup. Now that I think of it, it would also make a great St. Patrick's Day soup because of the green from the nettles. Some other alternatives you could add into this soup would be something like leeks. Mushrooms would taste fantastic. Okay, so now that this is melted, I'm going to add in the potatoes and onions and garlic. And I'm also going to add in the chives. I like to add in the sprig of the thyme, even without the leaves on, to add flavor. And my fresh thyme. You can see that looks very pretty. I'm going to add some pepper, some cracked pepper to taste. And I'm going to add salt to taste. I'm going to give that a nice stir to coat all of the vegetables. Okay, so now we're actually going to cover this with the parchment paper here. And this is just sweat the vegetables a bit to make them kind of steamy and tender. And then we're going to place a lid on top for about 10 minutes just to let them get nice and tender. I can tell you this does smell amazing already. You can hear the vegetables simmering. All right, now that the timer has went off, I'm going to uncover this. Oops. And you're going to give this a bit of a stir. And you can see that the vegetables are nice and tender, and they have a little bit of color. Try to show that to you. Okay, so now I'm going to pour in the stock. And that's 4 cups of stock. Going to stir it again. Make sure to get anything off the bottom of the pot that may have stuck. Now I'm going to turn the heat up to about medium. And we're going to bring this to a boil. We don't want to overcook them as they'll lose too much flavor that way. And we want it to have a rich, fresh kind of taste. I'm just going to taste the broth, see what we have here. And I'm going to add some more salt. And some more pepper. You can really see it has a nice color at the moment, kind of a golden color, but that will change when we add the nettles in. Okay, so now it's coming to a nice rolling boil, and I'm going to let it boil for about a minute. All right, so now we're going to add our nettles, being careful not to touch the nettles with your hands unless you are wearing gloves. And I'm putting in everything, the whole plant with the stems attached, as the stems are still pretty tender at this point. They haven't developed very tough stems, but you can remove them if you'd like. I'm going to turn the heat down to low and just stir this for a moment, just to let everything combine and let the nettles lose their sting, as the heat from the boiling water will do that. It's similar to blanch. This will act similarly to blanching without the hard work. I'm going to remove my thyme sprig because we don't want that in there. Just letting that do its thing and work its magic. Okay, I'm going to add about a half a cup of heavy cream to the soup, and then we're going to put it into the food processor to blend. So this is how the soup is looking with the cream mixed in. Now we're going to put it into the blender. This part could get a little bit messy. We'll see. Yes, it did already. At this point, the stingers on the nettle are neutralized, so they're not going to sting you. Alright, so we have it in the blender. Now we're going to turn it on. And do be careful here, especially if your blender is missing the top like mine. All right, so this is the soup now that it has been blended, and you can blend this to whatever consistency you like. And depending on how many nettles you added, it will turn green. So this soup that I have made is slightly more white thanks to the cream that I added, but it also will make a richer, more flavorful soup with a creamy texture. Okay, and that is our nutrient-rich nettles soup already done. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it inspires you to try some new things with your cooking, to incorporate some more greens and foraged items or things that you're growing into your day-to-day menu, as this is one of the best ways to really reap all of the benefits of the herbs and the plants that are growing. And I really hope that you like this recipe. Let me know if you try it and what you think, or if you've made nettle soup before and the ways that you enjoy it. Please remember to like and subscribe to this channel, and I will see all of you very, very soon.